everyone, welcome to GemChem. Now today's video is on chemical thermodynamics part 5 video, and here we are going to deal with relation between heat capacities. Now what are the heat capacities? Cp and Cv. We will derive the relation between heat capacities for both ideal gas as well as van der Waals gas. Now for this derivation we would require all the knowledges of chemical thermodynamics, which we have already dealt in 4 parts of chemical thermodynamics video. You can watch it. I will give the link in the description box as well as the I button present above this video. Now let us start. Now first, relationship between heat capacities for ideal gas requires a basic equation to be used in order to start with. So what is the basic equation? From the previous video we know that H is equals to U plus PV. Right. So now we will take the derivative of it. So dH equals to gives us du plus pdv plus vdp, right? Now we know that it can be written as, that is dH can be written as this one. From previous video all explanations are being given, so you can watch it first, then come to this video, then it will be easy. Cp/dt plus delta H delta P by T dP is equals to Cv dt plus delta U by delta V at constant T dV plus P dV plus Vdp. Right. Now we have here just substituted the value of dH and du. Now in the next step we will see that if the transformation is carried out at a constant pressure, then we know that dP comes to be as 0. So we are going to apply this condition from the next step. So we are considering that the change in pressure is 0. So we can write Cp dt at constant pressure is equals to Cv dt at constant P plus delta U by delta V at constant T in the bracket and dV at constant P. Now we will divide the whole thing, dividing the whole thing by dt. Dividing by dt. So on dividing we will see that this dt goes away and here comes a dt, right? So let us see in the next page. It will be Cp minus Cv is equals to P plus del U by del V at constant T, and outside the bracket it is del V by del T at constant P. Now if we write it more openly, then it comes to be as like this: dt at constant P, so this is at constant P, plus del U by del V at constant T and del V by del T at constant P, right? Now this is the work involved in increase in pressure per degree centigrade, and this part, that is this part, is the work expended to separate the molecules further apart to greater distances. Now you have to remember that when temperature is increased at constant volume, pressure increases and all the heat contributes and goes on increasing chaotic motion of the molecules. And when temperature increases at constant pressure, there is an increase in kinetic energy of molecules, right? And the system has done some work, PdV, change in volume. Thus has come from heat supplied and utilized to do mechanical or expansion work. And then the temperature rise is also used to work or do work against intermolecular force of attraction. So work done at constant pressure is much greater than work done at constant volume. Now using this equation we are going to derive for the ideal gas, right? Now if we consider this one for ideal gas, For ideal gas, what is the equation? PV is equals to nRT. And at constant pressure, it will be like this. That is P delta V by delta T at constant P is equals to nR. We can write it. And one thing which we have not seen till date, that is Joule's criteria. So we will deal it in details in some other video, but for this much is efficient to understand that Joule's criteria says that for ideal gas, del U by del V at constant T is equals to 0 only for ideal gas, and for non-ideal gas or van der Waals gas, this is not equals to 0. So this is Joule's criteria. So now we have obtained the value of delta V by delta T at constant P, and we know this one is 0. So right now on substituting this one, we are going to get Cp minus Cv. So let us see. So on doing Cp minus Cv, we are going to obtain P delta V by delta T at constant P, which is equals to nR. Right. So for an ideal gas, we can write it as Cp minus Cv is equals to nR divided by number of moles. Then it becomes molar heat capacities, that is Cpm minus Cvm is equals to R. So this is our final important equation, right? Now we are going for van der Waals gas, but before going for van der Waals gas, we have to get out the value of delta U by delta V at constant T, so that we can substitute the value here, and delta V by delta T at constant P can be easily obtained from the van der Waals gas equation. And what is van der Waals gas equation? If you don't know, you can refer to kinetic theory of gas part 1 video. Their details is already mentioned. So let us see. For this, we need to get 4 fundamental equations, and there we are going to use only 2 of them. So one fundamental equation we already know, that is du equals to T ds minus P dv. Okay, this is equation number 1. And the next equation can be obtained from H equals to U plus PV. Now if we differentiate it, so dH equals to du plus PdV plus VdP. Okay, and ultimately we get it as dH equals to TdS plus VdP, and this is our equation number 2. Next, if we go for another equation, this is A equals to U minus Ts. Now what is A? This is a very important question. So A is work function or Helmholtz energy, and we will deal with it when we will deal with second law of thermodynamics. So it gives us the value as like this, that is dA is equals to du minus TdS minus SdT, and ultimately it can give this one, that is dA equals to minus PdV minus SdT, and this is our equation number 3. These are the 3 fundamental equations, and another equation, that is the last fundamental equation, is Gibbs free energy, which is given by this formula. So G stands for Gibbs free energy, and this term will be dealt with when we are going to deal with second law of thermodynamics. Okay, now this on being differentiating, dG comes to be as dH minus TdS minus SdT, and dG finally comes to be as minus SdT and plus VdP, just substituting the value of dH and TdS. So we are getting these values. Okay, if you try and practice, then it will be easy. Now if we see from 1, okay, we can write that delta U by delta V, that is differentiating with respect to V at constant T, we will get an expression which is like this. Let us do. See this one, on differentiating from 1, we can get this one, that is delta U by delta V at constant T is equals to T delta S by delta V at constant T minus P, and this is equation number 5. Now from 3 we are going to get few things, that is from this equation dA equals to minus PdV minus SdT. So first we are going to differentiate this equation with respect to temperature at constant volume and then volume at constant temperature. So first we are going to write the equation so that it is easy for us to do. dA equals to minus PdV minus SdT. Right. Now first we will differentiate this one with respect to temperature at constant volume. So we will get it as minus S. Similarly, we will differentiate it with respect to volume at constant temperature. So we will get it as minus P. Now we will differentiate this thing with respect to volume at constant temperature. So here we are going to get it as equals to minus delta S by delta V at constant T. Simple differentiation, right? And in the next case for this one, if we consider, we can write it as differentiating with respect to temperature, this whole thing, and at constant volume, right? Here we had taken constant temperature and next case we are taking constant volume. So we will get minus delta P by delta T at constant volume. Now you can see that from here we can gain this one, that is minus delta S by delta V at constant T is equals to minus delta P by delta T at constant V. And if we look carefully, this minus minus gets cancelled. So ultimately we get these two as same. And if we see from 1 we have obtained this one. So from delta S by delta V at constant T we will substitute it by delta P by delta T at constant V. Okay, so let us substitute this one. So we can write it as delta U by delta V at constant T is equals to T delta P by delta T at constant T minus P. Now we had seen that Cp minus Cv is given by P plus delta U by delta V at constant T, right, multiplied by delta V by delta T at constant P. We have obtained already this expression. So now we will just substitute this value here. And ultimately the expression comes to be as Cp minus Cv is equals to T multiplied by delta P by delta T at constant V multiplied by delta V by delta T at constant P. So this is the expression for our most required Cp minus Cv, so that we can derive the expression for van der Waals gas. Okay. Now let us see. So this is the equation and we name it as equation A. Now for 1 mole of van der Waals gas, we can write the equation as P plus A by V square M, that is molar volume multiplied by Vm minus P equals to RT. Now we just rearrange it by multiplying each term with each term and get equation 1. We differentiate this equation with respect to temperature to obtain this value. Delta P by delta T at constant Vm multiplied by Vm minus delta P by delta T at constant Vm multiplied by B equals to R. And the ultimate expression for delta P by delta T, that is for this one, comes to be as R by Vm minus P. Again we differentiate this one with respect to temperature. So why we are differentiating with temperature? To get this term. Now on differentiating this one with respect to temperature but at constant pressure, we get another expression which is given by equation 3. So step by step differentiation will lead to this answer. So try it and then we will easily obtain delta Vm by delta T, which is equals to R by P minus A by V square M plus 2AB V cube M. And these two expressions, that is 2 and 3, is being substituted in this equation. Okay. So we easily obtain this on substitution and little simplification, this one, that is expression 4. So if you see here, under the condition of high temperature and low pressure, this expression that we have obtained from here may be approximated as R by 1 minus 2A divided by Vm RT. Okay, and this on being more simplification, we get ultimately this one. And in case of Vm, we are writing it as RT by P. That is, Vm here is substituted as RT by P. Okay, so this is the expression for Cp minus Cv molar heat capacities for van der Waals equation. It follows that this equation 5 is not valid at low temperature and high pressure, and this equation 5, it follows that the difference between CPM minus CVM increases linearly with pressure. It is directly proportional to pressure, and this depends on nature of the gas through the constant A. Okay, thus larger the value of A, larger the difference between CP and CV. Now here this video ends. Hope this was helpful. Try to practice sums from different books. Especially many sums are given in K.L. Kapoor part 2 book. You can refer to it. So this much for today. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe and comment.